That's actually what happened, because I got signed, and well, it was actually here. I don't know if you remember, 5 years ago.
You had the
green
dreadlocks, you had the green hair.
And we went to Birmingham and spent like a month there and did a whole album. And then our record label was like, well, we're going to hold on to it for a while, you know, test the waters and all that. And then 6 months later, heard nothing about it. And so we just went away, re-recorded it ourselves, released it ourselves, and did way better off it than we did before. And after 6 months, the label thing, we just like, don't worry about it, and got out of it.
Well, they were happy to kind of just...
Yeah. We argued about it for so long, they were just like, you know what, it's not worth it, don't worry about it. So we
But out of interest, because it is quite fascinating actually, what did, in all your kind of thoughts, you know, your thought process into going in and signing this thing, what was the thing that said to you, actually, these guys are the people we want to sign? Because they would have been an independent label, yeah?
Well, yeah, you got to remember I was quite young at the time, so I was 17.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be signed, like what you said earlier, you know, I wanted to be on a record label. And they handed us this contract, and it was awful. It was like, you know, no percentages, no royalties, they owned the music, they owned everything.
Advance?
No, we didn't get an advance, nothing like that. And we bounced back this contract like 5 or 6 times to the point where it was like, because we thought, we'll chuck a ridiculous... They were like, please chuck it back, if you don't like it, chuck it back. Yeah. So we did some ridiculous like 50-50 deal with them. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. It just seemed very unprofessional and not put together very well. So,
yeah. But it's interesting how you can get caught up in the moment, isn't it?
It is, and you'd be surprised. And if anything, I'm not saying I have a lot of advice, but try to step back and look at it properly, because you do get caught up in the moment. If I had signed that contract and, you know, not properly thought about it, then I could be still in some horrible situation where I can't even play my own music to myself. So I'm just, I just thought it'd be a good example.
And I actually think that's the thing that hurts a lot of artists, where they think, actually, this is all my creativity, you know, yet someone else actually is dictating what I can actually do with the product that I've produced.
There was a lot of that when we were recording it for the first time. They were like, don't like that, do more of a, you know, John Bonham thing or something. It was like, what is that?
Yeah, was that the A&R person? Because I could really kick A&R guys in the head, actually, because they'll be in the studio with you, you know, you work...
They sit there with you the whole
creative,
time,
but they, you know, give opinions about the quality of the music. But you know what, this business is no different from the TV business. I know the guy I'm working with at the moment through the college is the writer of Silent Witness, and there's another one, Waking the Dead. Yeah.
I thought they were written by the same people.
Yeah, it's all him. It's Stephen Davis. He's got his Emmy and BAFTA and all this kind of stuff. Fantastic guy. And he's now he did his last series, and they were interfering in it so much, you know, these kind of junior executives, that he just said, you know what, take my name off of it. I want nothing to do with it. So there is a history in anything creative, any kind of creative industry. The people that are driving it often don't have a great understanding of the creative processes. So, but you know, you can set up your own record labels and put your own material out there. Yeah. Can I ask you a question? And it's do you feel the course that you're doing, the learning that's going on, how well prepared do you feel to actually go out into the world and do some of this stuff?
Compared to, I was doing a course in Bristol, and it wasn't nearly as up to date or down to earth whatsoever. I think like just having this lecture is another good touch. And all aspect of it. It's brilliant. Like the lesson we would have missed with Clive, his teaching of just like, if you're getting paid to do this for an advert, not like making your own album, it's just like, if they're not paying you, then you don't have to do it. You just do it until you're happy with it. I don't know, it's all like quite relative good advice.
I think I found in other colleges as well when I've done like music technology. But there's definitely a set model that they kind of ensure that you stick to, and then there's a curriculum you've got to do it in a certain way. Whereas here there's more of a, they show you how you guys are showing us how the industry works, and then you're showing us how we can incorporate our own skills into that industry and like do it the way that we want to do it.
I think there might be a tad too much of that actually. I'd rather be spending a bit more time in the studio, actually working on my skills as a producer.
Okay.
But it depends on what you want to do. I mean, if you look at music production, but if you look at music production, it's not just creating the music. It's how you want it to be sent out, how you want you as an artist to be seen. You can create something, but at the end of the day, you could be shown as something completely different. And then at the end of it all, you can think to yourself, well, what exactly am I? Am I a music producer or am I an artist? If you want to be a music producer, you have to allow yourself to know everything, to then say my music is this, therefore I'm going to these people, and allowing myself to know which people to go to. And I think that's what they're doing. They're not just saying, go and record an album. They're saying, record it, but know which genre you're going to and which record companies you're going to as well.
So this is FDA
Music
production.
HNC
And the
production
HNC.
together, yeah.
Because the HNC is new this year, and you're doing it in 1 year, aren't you? And most of it's taught in the evening twilights. How's that?
I never get up.
No excuse.
Well, it's the perfect course for a musician, actually, isn't it? Start going in there. Yeah. I don't know if you know, but when the new building's open, there is a room in there which is just dedicated study centre, which is just for HE, higher education students. So you can, from 14th of January, so it's just an area to go, a quiet area to go and do some work and stuff. So that will be there for you from there.
And what will be provided in that space? Do you know?
Not what you need. I was going to say there aren't any mats in it at the moment. Although I would be willing to put some in there, but particularly the keyboard. There's none of that in there. But if you've kind of got assignments that you need to work on, it's the perfect place to go and
More like the academic.
exactly.
Okay.
Is that all that section is? Just a learning resource place?
No.
What
It's
else?
the top floor is kind of teaching rooms for higher education programs, and then there's this study centre on there. The floor beneath is a spa, a beauty studios and hair studios. You can go and get go and have
They
a
need
flotation
volunteers.
tank. And then ground floor, all your student services. There'll be a new coffee shop, things like that. It's supposed to be finished in 3 weeks' time. But there you go.
I would love it if we did have, I think the learning and everything is spot on, but if we had more time with the equipment, like the course I was doing before, studios are open till midnight, and also because there's courses running here in the day, we don't have access. Because it starts at 5, I envisioned that I'd be in here every day for a few hours before 5, but we don't actually have access to any of it. My Mac is already not being able to cope with some of the stuff I can do, and I don't have speakers, microphones or headphones, so I would thrive off the use of more, not Studio One, but maybe another studio in between with just some monitors.
Yeah, and that's the problem with this building. As soon as it was built, it was full already. Really. I mean, this was built before I came. When was it? 2007, probably before I came. And it was, literally from the day they moved in, it was full. That's a challenge for us. And actually, the music courses now with the HNC are growing in popularity as well. And I think that's because some of the colleges are getting a reputation.
I
for doing
heard
this stuff.
about it, numerous people. I was recommended it by at least 4 people. And I think it will continue like that. So more funding, more people. Yeah.
I found it really randomly. It was only afterwards I realised what a good reputation it has. I was talking to my students at college and stuff, and when I mentioned when I was coming in, it really quite inspired me.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Has anyone got any more questions for me before we finish? Right, so at some point, probably in the new year, we'll do publishing.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for coming, Matt. Big round of applause for Matt.
My annual teach. That's the only time I want to hear. So those are start at 5.